Mic check, mic check. About to start the show, grabbing some coffee. It's Afternoon Delight. Lunch and Learn today, 3-minute radio. In just a moment. And we will switch up this soundtrack. It is on loop. This same piano jazz, nice little tune. Doing a little bit of audio switching here to some headphones. Perfect time to pause that track before it plays again. Apparently I have, loop set to on. We're going to start a new track here. Nice. Boom, boom, boom. All right, it is 1:04 p.m. Eastern Time on July 10th, 2025. You are listening to 3-Minute Radio. This is our Afternoon Delight show, Lunch and Learn. I have a topic picked out for today that's a little bit interesting to me. I just happened to see some news and stats about it, and I realized, you know what, I don't really know a lot about that. That topic is not just electric vehicles themselves or the infrastructure that we've started to build out and the more and more electric and hybrid vehicles out there come out over the last 10 years, even 15 years, where we're going in the automotive industry towards electric and more carbon fossil fuel friendly transportation and vehicles. We are going to narrow in on just electric or alternative fuel school buses and all the topics and where we're at with initiatives and things like that around electric school buses, and we're just going to find out more about them in general. And that's what today's Lunch and Learn is. We might have Mike as our co-host calling in at some point. We'll see. We had our Thursday brunch for the Morning Squirrel, so we started late, did a brunch episode. We found out what's for brunch. Now I will switch our display over, because every day on our Lunch and Learn we start off on Brangle.com doing some sort of brain teaser or quiz. So I'm jumping right into this one. If you're watching this in the future, go find all of our socials and shows and our different episodes. This is our second week of live streaming 3-Minute Radio. Technically, the concept of our 3-Minute Radio has been around for 15 years now, and just now really launching and doing shows every day, and eventually we'll be scraping up old content where we have a lot of audio skits, fake, somewhat humorous commercials, things like that we've done in the past. We'd also like to be here coming up in a few weeks to a month. We're going to start talking to musicians and bands, showcasing their music, more indie bands and online streamers, content creators, talking to and interviewing folks and having other folks here on the show with us to lunch and learn with us and to do the Morning Squirrel with us. So there's ways to reach us through Twitter or Twitch. We'll be streaming from our 3-Minute Radio Twitch account starting, I would say, tomorrow. I think I said this morning or yesterday. That will be so we're still setting up some things there. So go give us a like, a follow, a share, all those things. We'll be posting also YouTube content of all of our segments over from last week and this week. That's probably what we'll be spending this weekend off hours doing, is getting all of our content out there. So if you're seeing this in the future, this is in the making. We'll be also having backstage shows where we're doing things like that, and we're working on our setups, our our content, social media, and how we roll with some of those things. Also, on the technical side, some software things that we're doing for our live streaming and our production. And this is what I would say our, episode 8, but episodes are considered, both shows for the morning. So we're coming up on this like 20th stream mark, probably then by this coming Monday. So just again now, it's been 4 minutes. It's 1:08 p.m. July 10th, 2025. This is the 3-Minute Radio Afternoon Delight Show, Lunch and Learn. And today, after I do this brain teaser, we're going to talk about electric school buses. So again, we're on Brangle.com. The name of this brain teaser or riddle is Mr. Fruipaloop's fiance. This is under the logic puzzles section. Logic puzzles require you to think. You have to be logical in your reasoning. All right. So Hans Ernest Fruipaloop Jr. will marry, I feel like Jr. already is important, will marry one of 3 women: Audrey, Brenda, and Charlotte. Here are some facts. So, of Audrey and Brenda, either they both have blue eyes or neither has blue eyes. Okay. Do they both even have eyes? One has red hair and the other does not. So we're looking at least one of them has red hair with blue eyes, or red hair with blue eyes, or red hair with not blue eyes, or Brenda, or I don't know why I right away went to Brenda, who doesn't have, does not have red hair and may have blue eyes or not as well. Reminds me of the game Guess Who. You ask your opponent, does your character have blue eyes? They're like, no, and then you change in all your cards. Fun game. Fact number 2, evidence number 2 of Audrey and Charlotte. So first we have Audrey and Brenda. Now we have Audrey and Charlotte. Either they both have red hair or neither has red hair. Ooh. Okay, so you're like stepping into if Audrey does have red hair, then Charlotte also has red hair. Okay, one is 5'11", the other is not. Of Brenda, so number 3, of Brenda and Charlotte. So now we have Brenda and Charlotte here. One has blue eyes and the other does not. Ooh. So we know either they both have blue eyes or neither has blue eyes. So if Brenda has blue eyes, that means Audrey also has blue eyes. Okay. Okay. And one is 5'11", the other is not. So that means if Charlotte is 5'11", that means Audrey is not 5'11". We're moving on to number 4. I'm doing a real quick switch back to our 3-Minute Radio screen to check something on our Discord to make sure I still have it up. Yes. Okay. Just checking that out. All right. So let's do a recap before number 4. Audrey and Brenda, they either both have blue eyes, neither has blue eyes. You jump down here, you're saying one of Brenda and Charlotte has blue eyes. So if it's Brenda, that means also Audrey has blue eyes. And then 5'11", the other is not. And item number 2 is that one is 5'11", the other is not. That means if Charlotte is 5'11", Audrey is not 5'11". Here we go. If you're a programmer out there, it's like, yep, if else, but if not else, if else if this, if that. Of the 3 characteristics, blue eyes, red hair, and 5'11". All right, that's where we at. If any of the 3 women has exactly 2 of the 3 characteristics, okay, so red hair and 5'11", blue eyes and red hair, blue eyes and 5'11", or red hair and blue eyes. I'm missing one there, but Mr. Fruipaloop, of the three characteristics, that, if any of the three women has exactly two of the three characteristics, Mr. Fruipaloop Jr., by the way, will marry the one with the least number of characteristics. Okay. If any of the three have a two, Fruipaloop's going with the one with only one characteristic. If any of them has exactly one of the three, Mr. Fruipaloop will marry the one with the greatest. Oh, so that negates this. Oh, because they could not have, someone could have zero. They don't have blue eyes, they don't have red hair, they're not 5'11". Three people, three characteristics. Who will Mr. Fruipaloop marry? Okay, so my first answer is that Mr. Fruipaloop doesn't marry any of them because Hans Ernest Fruipaloop Jr. will marry one of three women. I'll be so proud of myself if that's the answer, but I want to figure out, is this a possibility? So they both have blue eyes, neither has blue eyes. If they don't have blue eyes, Audrey and Brenda both do not have the blue eyes characteristic. No blue eyes. One has red hair, the other does not. So Audrey or Brenda both have one of the characteristics. Okay. Either one of these do have one of Audrey and Charlotte. Either they both have red hair or neither has red hair. So if Audrey has red hair, she could still not have blue eyes, but that means Charlotte has no red hair. So either they both have it, which both have one. If Audrey has blue eyes, they have two. One of them is 5'11", the other is not. So this could put, currently Brenda could not have blue eyes and Brenda could not have red hair. And then we don't get down to Brenda till here. One has blue eyes, the other does not, out of Charlotte. And if we don't talk about blue eyes in number 2. One is 5'11", the other is not, of Audrey. Audrey could have all three at this point. Audrey could have blue eyes, red hair, which would mean Brenda has blue eyes if Audrey has 3. I feel like we need a chart and more time here. And I want to understand why. So we're just going to jump to the answer. My guess is that Mr. Fruipaloop does not marry any of them because of the little trick here that Mr. Fruipaloop Jr. is the one getting married, not Mr. Fruipaloop. You would assume this is Mr. Fruipaloop Jr.'s father. So if any of the 3 women though has exactly one of the 3 characteristics, so is that possible? He will marry the one with the greatest number of characteristics. Audrey is only here and here. Brenda's only here and here. Charlotte's in both of these. Either they both have it or neither has red hair. So Charlotte may not have red hair. If Audrey's 5'11", Charlotte is not 5'11". And then one has blue eyes, the other does not. So Audrey could have all 3. Brenda could have 2 at this point. Charlotte could not. And then if Audrey has all 3, Charlotte's the one. I'm going to guess either Charlotte or Brenda, not Audrey. I don't know why, because if you switch these around, it would kind of like, they all kind of work. Without making a chart and really mapping this out carefully, I don't, that's my best guess is, though, I'm going to go with Charlotte. But my real answer is that Mr. Fruipaloop does not marry any because it is a trick with this junior at the top. we're going to show answer. Let's see what we got. I got it right. Mr. Fruipaloop will marry Charlotte. And this was a guess. It was a sort of informed, but guess. But facts 1A and 3A tell us that Charlotte is either the only one with blue eyes or the only one without blue eyes. Okay. Yeah, that's what 1B and 2A tell us that Brenda is either the only one with red hair or the only one without red hair. Okay. And then 2B and 3B tell us that Charlotte is either the only one who's 5'11" or the only one who isn't 5'11". Yep. So I think I had that correct in going through it, but I still didn't have mapping it out in my brain. Fact 4 tells us that no one woman can have one characteristic. Okay, while another has two. This gives us two scenarios. That Audrey has blue eyes, doesn't have red hair, and is 5'11". This is what I wanted to get to, these facts that you can conclude from the descriptions. But and then Brenda has blue eyes, red hair, and is 5'11". And then Charlotte does not have blue eyes, does not have red hair, and is not 5'11". Right? All the two different scenarios. And then number 2 is that Audrey does not have blue eyes, has red hair, is not 5'11". Brenda does not have blue eyes, does not have red hair, and is not 5'11". But Charlotte has blue eyes, red hair, is 5'11", which is, then again, all three. But wait. Yeah, my brain starts to hurt too, even in going through the answer. 4A tells us that in scenario 1, Mr. Fruipaloop will marry Charlotte. Fact 4B tells us that in scenario 2, Mr. Fruipaloop will marry Charlotte. Yeah. So scenario 1, it's Charlotte. Scenario 2, it's Charlotte. I was really stuck on the old Dash Junior part though. That's a little bit fun piece. You could flip that around and be like, "Oh, here's the logical answer," but really, Mr. Fruipaloop did not marry any. All right, that's fun. All right, we're going to learn about school buses, and then we're going to find out what's for lunch with our PhD level prompt engineering skills. We've read the cookie policy, sure. We are on electricschoolbusinitiative.org. It's time to give our kids a clean ride to school. So this whole concept just brand new to me. I caught wind of it and I was like, I'm going to look into that more. And I realized I know nothing about school buses. I know nothing about this electrification movement. Obviously, again, we've seen over 10, 15 years, hybrid vehicles, electric vehicles, and other alternative fuels. And I just kind of wanted to learn about specifically, just because it's a fascinating topic. It's not just that so much around EVs versus this type or this type and what's happened. We're not looking at the entire electric vehicle or sustainable transportation world out there. And we're just focusing in today on electric school buses. So this is the electricschoolbusinitiative.org. And on Lunch and Learns, again, we don't go in and specifically go, oh, these are the facts, these are the things. We do that a little bit, but we do we call it a 3-minute overview or bird's eye view of, if I want to go learn about this, where would I go? So electricschoolbusinitiative.org is, a great resource. Seems like you can stay in touch. They have a newsletter right here. There's the ESB Initial Technical Assistance. We need to transition to electric school bus articles. Everyone has a role to play. School districts, these are articles for resources for school districts. Community members, these are the resources for the general public and members of your community, electric school bus ambassadors, students for electric school buses, why electric school buses, why we need to transition to them, leading the charge, advocacy organizations at the forefront of the electric school bus transition. Lots of resources you can link out to just from here, just starting at electricschoolbusinitiative.org. This is the WRI.org website. It is World Resources Institute. We're going to close their cookie banner. Anyhow, the state of electric school bus adoption in the U.S. So this is worldresourcesinstitute.org. An article, this was from November 18th, 2024. So like 8-9 months, by Lydia Freehafer, Leah Laser, we'll zoom a little bit, and Brian Zepka. The cover image is by Martin Doucette /iStock. Anyhow, topic is under air quality region North America. Again, lunch and learn. We don't sit and read word for word entire articles, and we're taking 20 minutes, 25, 30 minutes, learn about a topic, and then more so how to jump into getting involved with a topic. Prior topics so far have been an interesting one was invasive species, and we did the same thing, how to get involved with your local community, your local region, with their, you go to the DNR websites, your park websites, your local community forums and things like that, for getting involved with volunteering and things like that with local initiatives around certain topics or fun things. And you like metal detecting, I guarantee there's a group out there, and they're out there right now metal detecting and having fun, having lunch and finding stuff in the ground. But today we're talking about school buses, so I'm not reading this entire article, I'm just browsing it. In the US, there are nearly 5,000 electric school buses serving approximately 254,000 students in 49 states. Okay, that means electric school buses are on roads across the country, responding to the call for a clean ride to school. So this is not just about air quality. Also, I want to mention this is about gaseous diesel fumes in wafting through the school bus windows as they stood at a stoplight, and air quality for the students on the bus itself. As of October 1st, 2024, there are a total of 12,241 electric school bus commitments. We define commitment to include electric buses across 4 stages. Those that have been awarded funding for purchase, have a formal purchase agreement with a dealer or manufacturer, or have been delivered to school districts or fleet operations, or are in operation. So there's we define commitment to include electric buses across 4 stages. So these are the 4 stages, and I guess so there's 12,241 as of October 1st, 2024, buses out there. Over 2/3 or 67% of all committed electric school buses in the U.S. were funded by the EPA, Clean School Bus Program, which has awarded nearly $3 billion to fund 8,000 school bus replacements, more than 1,200 school districts. Kind of amazing. I know that there's a ways to go with this. My side squirrel brain is thinking, I wonder if the old buses are going for cheap, like at auction and stuff like that, or being converted, into things like that. Be interesting. There's this mass surplus of used school buses out there, possibly a lucrative thing to look into. Anyhow, notably, 89% of total Clean School Bus Program funds and 84% of awarded electric school buses went to priority school districts. So 84% of the buses went to priority districts, which include school districts with high poverty levels, rural districts, Bureau of Indian Affairs funded school districts, and school districts that receive basic support payments for children who reside on Indian land. I like that. And so there's some thanks to this program. There's school bus commitments, 49 states. It lists some areas, total number of committed ESBs. You didn't know what an ESB was? Well, we do now. We lunched and learned about what an ESB is. So like really low numbers, Q1 of 2016, and we are not even 10 years later, and we went from 0 to Q3 of 2024, our 12,241 number. Very cool. That was provided by the authors of this data as of October 2024. It is expected, the total number of ESBs is expected to continue to grow under a $1 billion fourth round of Clean School Bus Program funding announced in September 2024. I hope that has not been cut. Where again, this is July 10th, 2025. There's recent developments in government funding for lots of programs, as you've maybe heard, unless you've been living under a rock. The U.S. has nearly 5,000 school buses on the road, electric school buses, 5,000. It's a 500% increase in the number of districts since our first count in 2021, 1,000% increase in the number of committed electric school buses. Fascinating. ESBs by adoption stage over time. So just in 2022, we were at just under 2,000 awarded or ordered, and you know, within 3 to 4 years, we've hit that 12,000 mark. There's a map here of the country where dark green is 500 plus commitments, 100 to 500 is this kind of normal green, then a little lighter green is 11 to 100 for each state. Just looking around, it looks like California, Illinois, and New York are leading the way. And is that Rhode Island? No, that's the bottom of New York. They're leading the way, with California, as of this 2024 measurement, was at 3,000 buses, Illinois 617, and New York at 764. So interesting. You know, this lighter kind of pale green is the 1 to 10 electric school buses. So there's less than 10, or 10 or less in places like Tennessee, 86 buses, Alabama 70 buses. Number of committed buses in Arkansas is 91, only 8 in South Dakota, 81 in Montana, 23 in Idaho, 57 in Nevada. And real quick shout out, we have 2 in Alaska. Shout out to school bus drivers out there as well, and teachers and administration who are involved with the government and like collaboration levels of rolling out these programs for ESBs. This article, I'm only halfway through, and I'm just gonna very quickly scroll and skim it. There's some more statistics. This is the World Resources Institute, WRI.org website. We have like their distributions amongst like rural districts, island type districts, tribal districts. So clean school bus program prioritization category. So where do we want to prioritize these? I like this school bus chart. School districts with the highest shares of low income houses, other districts. Okay. And a big thing is this is like your school district, where I know that it lowers costs of transporting students to school. And one thing I know about it is like they're able to have measurable results for being able to put those saved funds on costs back into school programs and infrastructure and buildings and all that, and into like other programs that benefit the school district and the students. We are now on nycerda.ny.gov. So nycerda.newyork.gov is the New York State website. They just have an article here all about electric school buses. I'm going to zoom this a little bit. New York State school bus fleets are going electric by 2027. All of them And again, on our other chart, they were leading the way. One of the leaders of the most ESB commitment so far. And by 2035, the state will have converted its entire school bus fleet to electric school buses. Again, I'm going back to this somewhat interesting but humorous idea that, wow, there's got to be this surplus of used school buses out there. You know what they could do is donate their used ones to districts that are lacking in funding for buses themselves, even if they're not ESBs. But it's like then you're taking the gas powered or other powered buses and just putting them somewhere else. But still, there could be needs out there that I could even see maybe some like specialty schools or nonprofits or churches, like some of these buses being, the old ones donated, just not completely decommissioned. I wonder if there's people, if they're taking the current buses and just are able to like convert them. That's a way more technical subject. We are now going back to Electric School Bus Initiative.org and frequently asked questions on that site there. I have a lot of questions. You've got questions, we've got answers, it says right there. The basics. What are they? They run on electricity, typically using a lithium-ion battery pack to store electricity that's used to power the motor. They're safe, reliable, commercially available school buses that have zero tailpipe emissions and being deployed in communities nationwide. So I think it's all self-explanatory there. Why are they the right answer? They don't have the harmful tailpipe pollution that diesel burning buses have, reducing students' exposure to harmful air pollutants that are linked to serious physical health conditions and cognitive development issues. Because they aren't provided by, because electric school buses aren't powered by fossil fuel burning engines, they're the cleanest, healthiest choice, and the only type of school bus with zero tailpipe emissions. They also reduce greenhouse gas emissions by 2 to 4 times compared to diesel and propane burning buses. They can save money on fuel and maintenance, and they have been proven safe and reliable, with a track record of success in climates from the freezing winters of Michigan to the desert heat of Arizona. Important factor to think about that. Like, yeah, we deployed our ESBs in this state, and wow, the batteries are not keeping up with the extreme heat or cold. So we already know that there are students riding them today. Where are they in use today? We already looked at that a bit. How does school bus pollution impact student health and cognitive development? This is like we're not just talking about air quality or like environmental issues here. It's direct health hazards with students nationwide. And I want to point out again, this whole lunch and learn, this is, we do apologize, it is very specific to the electric school bus initiatives in the United States, not worldwide. That's a whole wider subject, no pun intended. Diesel exhaust fumes have proven links to serious physical health issues, including asthma, cancer, and other respiratory illnesses. And I remember riding the school bus as a kid, and you could smell the fumes. Or you're waiting outside, they're all parked out in front of the school, they're all sitting there running, chug, 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 and you could just, that diesel smell. There's evidence that children are particularly susceptible to the negative health impacts of diesel exhaust. The dangers of diesel pollution are so pronounced that the WHO, World Health Organization, has labeled diesel exhaust as a known carcinogen. Okay, yeah. I mean, it's kind of a common sense, but overall air pollution has been shown to impact academic performance by causing illnesses that result in absences and also lead to cognitive impairment that is observable in test scores. Wow. Like, I mean, I want to see the studies on all this, but it's fascinating that this is why we're doing this on Lunch and Learn today. It's very interesting. I'm glad that we dove in to learn more about this, be aware, find out what your state and local community is doing or not doing. And I'd like to know some of the opinions of those involved in education, and then even like school district level administrators, Department of Education for different states and communities. Who's leading the efforts for equitable transition to electric school buses? So this is exactly what I'm talking about. The movement for equitable transition to electric school buses has been going strong for years, thanks to the hard work of many tireless advocates. Thank you all. Organizations, including the Alliance for Electric School Buses, all of these have links to websites. So when we do YouTube videos of lunch and learns and things, we'll be dropping the links. All these, find them in the comments, all that. Tag your teacher and educators and other people, and maybe they end up listening to this 3-minute radio lunch and learn at some point. Alliance for Electric School Buses, CHISPA/LCV, Earth Justice. I'm going to read the URL. So earthjustice.org, Moms Clean Air Force. Very cool. momscleanairforce.org, the Sierra Club, the Southern Alliance for Clean Energy, cleanenergy.org, the Virginia Clinicians for Climate Action, virginiaclinicians.org. Many others have been leading the charge, and community advocates have played a crucial role. I bet all these organizations and things have, of course they're on social media. Of course they have like Facebook pages, and probably events, charities, volunteer opportunities, maybe near your state or local school district. Leading the charge advocacy organizations at the forefront of the electric school bus transition is where you can learn more about the organizations that have led the way and continue to lead the effort today. I have a few tabs left and this subject is going on. I'm loving it so far. Again, if you're just tuning in, this is 3-minute radio lunch and learn. Today we are learning about ESBs, electric school buses, and the movement towards rolling them out across. This is specific to the U.S. right now, but the afdc.energy.gov website, which is part of the U.S. Department of Energy, has the Alternative Fuels Data Center, a step-by-step guide to the school bus electrification process. This is where you go, how to use this planning guide. If you want to become an advocate, if you want to get involved, if you want to actually, get hands-on information and either volunteer or is part of your work as an educator or in the education area, that's where you would go. Transportation.gov. Thank you for visiting our site today. Would you participate in a short survey before you leave? This is from transportation.gov. No thanks. They have the transportation.gov website from the U.S. Department of Transportation has a electric bus basics here article, and then it goes into vehicle types, charger types and speeds, electric micro mobility basics, electric bus basics, the benefits and implementation challenges of rural EV vehicle electrification. There's partnership opportunities. There's the EV infrastructure planning for rural areas, the EV infrastructure funding and financing for rural areas, resources for EV infrastructure planning. So anything you want to know, on and on. Wireless inductive charging, overhead conductive charging, goes on and on. Everything you want to find out here, transportation.gov. In other words, if you want to find out about electric school buses, don't start at YouTube, don't start at other places. Go to these official sites, find your local, these organization websites, and learn more, get involved with the school districts in your state or your specific school district. Let's get one electric bus. If you don't have any, let's get one. Let's get one for a certain amount. Try out the program, see what the savings are, and then apply that to other programs. There is the electrificationcoalition.org website, electrificationcoalition.org/schoolbus, has electric school buses, program overview. Find out how you can transition your school bus fleet to electric buses using our DRVE tool. Okay, There's new funding available from them. Learn how to maximize your cost savings from transitioning to electric school buses. The EPA's Clean School Bus Rebate Program provides $500 million each year over 5 years for replacing existing school buses. Okay. The case for electric school buses, we went over a lot of that. Electrifying a school bus fleet. Here is this is like news from, there's a YouTube video. We're not going to play it. I'm just looking. It looks like there's someone, Make Virginians Ring. Yeah, this is maybe a Virginia local news site. EC's Ben. So the Electrification Coalition, Ben Projaksa discusses electric school buses. Very cool. Thank you, Mr. Ben. Engage stakeholders, identify your partners, set goals, plan routes and charging schedules, identify pathways to funding. I think, it's eventually everyone's going to switch anyway. So, get involved, get your district involved with the Electrification Coalition and your school districts moving towards, which clearly is the right thing to do for the future of school buses using electric. View video recordings, agendas, slides, and other resources from events in these states. So Colorado, Michigan, Illinois, and New Jersey apparently have some roundtables, some discussions about their experience on the transition. Oh, we're not doing Bringle. That was my last tab. It is 1:44 p.m. I'm going to call it here in a minute. This has been our afternoon delight lunch and learn from 3 Minute Radio. We learned about electric school buses today, and I'll be putting all the links to these website resources in descriptions and things. If you find this in the future, leave a comment. Let's say it's a couple years from now and you're like, wow, let's see how we've changed with the movement towards clean energy on school buses. Better for our kids, better for the environment, better for the school district's budget, arguably. But on Lunch and Learn, we don't learn we're not looking at the mechanics of the batteries or the chemical reactions of how the batteries work and how all of it works. We're looking at the impact on communities, and we're looking at how to get involved. Where would I go? So just today, I had no idea I was going to learn about electric school buses today. I saw an article mentioning them, and I realized I have no idea about that initiative. So took me less than a minute to Google, open up 7-8 new tabs with all these great websites and resources. So electricschoolbusinitiative.org is where I would start. There's the resource library. So on this Thursday, July 10th, 2025, I leave you with hopefully some inspiration and guidance around it. Let's say it's not even electric school buses, around learning a little bit about something important and new every day. And that's what we do on Lunch and Learn. And maybe some days it's not so important, but still interesting. So hopefully folks got some things out of this. You can leave comments and contact us. This is 3 Minute Radio. We do the morning squirrel in the morning, and we do afternoon delight, Lunch and Learn. Sometimes we do an afternoon tonight show that's kind of random. And coming up, we're going to start interviewing guests of all types and having others collaborate on the show, have some other co-hosts as well on the show, going through and discussing everything that we like to discuss on the show. Before we sign out, we're going to find out what is actually for lunch. And we love AI. AI, everything AI aside, we have an ongoing couple weeks now context with our PhD level prompt engineering skills that, or I can just say, what's for lunch today? And our, ChatGPT knows what's up. They know it's for the show. For our amazing audience and listeners out there, what's for lunch? What's for lunch today? By the way, we had an awesome time learning about electric school buses. Now we're hungry, right? Yay, electric school buses and brunch. That's a high voltage morning if I've ever heard one. All right, let's keep the future forward, eco-friendly vibe going with something light, energizing, and a little fun. Grilled veggie wrap with hummus and feta. I'm all in on that. Sounds great. Grilled zucchini, bell peppers, and red onion. A big smear of roasted garlic hummus. Crumbled feta. Fresh spinach or arugula rolled in a whole wheat or spinach tortilla. It sounds so awesome right now, especially with the hotter weather right now. Optional boost, drizzle some balsamic glaze or harissa. What's not for lunch? This is another part of our what's for breakfast and what's for lunch. Don't have microwave leftover fish in the shared office kitchen. Yeah. Seriously, don't be that person. Even the squirrels are judging. If you want dessert, I'm thinking chilled mango lassi cups or a slice of banana bread from the AI Revolution archives. This came from a reference all the way back to this morning, which is great because it's like, yeah, what if I went and sentient and I just started making banana bread? Let me know if we're rolling into lunch and learn, afternoon delight, or going behind the kitchen door next. We are wrapped. No pun intended. We are wrapped with our veggie wrap. We are wrapped today for the show, especially with that awesome veggie wrap. We don't go back and fix typos when talking to ChatGPT around here. A perfect wrap on the wrap. Thursday Brunch Squirrel Show officially toasted, folded, deliciously done. You brought the energy, the weirdness, and the education. Electric school buses, chef's kiss. I brought the camels. It was hump day yesterday, so it's confused about. But yeah, the Dutch babies was for breakfast. AI brain spirals and veggie vibes. Heck yeah. Until next time, keep it crispy, stay tuned, stay brunchy, and stay squirrely. 3-minute radio out, mic drop softly into a croissant. Wow. That said, it is July 10th, 2025, 1:50 p.m. Eastern Time. I hope everyone has a fantastic Thursday. Join us Friday for the Morning Squirrel and another afternoon delight lunch and learn tomorrow. I have no clue what we're going to learn about, but it's going to be awesome. Thanks, everyone. Tune in next time. 3-minute radio signing off.